Hi everyone, I'm Brittany and I'm the teen librarian here at Kokomo-Howard County Public Library. Today I'm going to be showing you how to start and finish one of our little paw print keychains. So to start off with, each kit will come with 2 pieces of felt. This will either be black, gray, or white. 1 piece of pink felt, a strand of pink string, a strand of black string, a paw print form. You'll use this for both the actual shape of the paw print and also the little toe beans we'll be cutting out. It'll come with 1 piece of ribbon and 1 key ring. Some items that you'll also want to have on hand will either be a pen, pencil, or marker, depending on what color of felt you decide to choose. And also a pair of scissors so that you can cut the felt out. So to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and trace out the toe beans for our paw print. And this one's just really easy. Just do some circles. Go around. Okay. And there's the toe beans. And then I'm going to go ahead and trace out this form. Now the other colored felt is a little bit softer than the pink felt, so it might be a little bit more difficult to cut out and a little bit more difficult to trace. It's all right. Is that good? No, almost. We're almost done with the beans. All right, so there's 1. And then we'll do 2. And this will be the back and the front of your keychain. And then the toe beans we will sew to the front as well. Also included in this kit will be a little sewing needle so you can sew everything. I'm going to set the form off to the side because we don't need it anymore. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut these 3 out. I'm going to take my scissors and start with the harder felt. And that's alright if your cuts aren't perfect. Mine certainly won't be perfect. As I said, you'll have 3 different colors to choose from, black, gray, or white. The white is in limited supply. That's alright. And these will be available at all locations and the bookmobiles. And just to reiterate, this is a program for teens to start off with. Side, cut out our other foot pad, and it goes along with our theme this year of Tails and Tales. I just thought it was something cute that we could all do together. And who doesn't love keychains? Alright, so there are our pads. Next we'll cut out the toe beans. And the pink is a lot easier to cut because it's a lot firmer, which is good because that also means it'll be easier to sew onto the gray because it won't move around as much. Get this cut out. I said, they don't need to be perfect. As everyone knows, mine will not be. Alrighty, there's all of our toe beans and our pads. Now I'm gonna have the colored portion kind of face the inside a little bit if I can. Flip that over. So it's alright if the color is on the back side. We don't mind about that. We don't mind about that. Alright. So we're gonna start our sewing. I'm gonna reach over here and pull this needle. So this is your sewing needle. And we're gonna start off with the pink thread because we're putting in our toe beans first and foremost. Alright, so to start, you're going to want to knot one end of your pink string. That way it does not go through the felt. We're going to do one knot. We're going to do 2 knots, and I'm going to do a third one just to be safe. There we go. Then we're going to come to the beginning of our string. And I like to wet the end and then try to squish it down so it goes through the eye a lot easier. So we're gonna wet that down. We're going to thread that through. And some people like to tie their string to the needle so it doesn't fall out. I'm just gonna pull it through a little bit more and hope for the best. All right. Put that toe bead down. Start off with, we're going to start in the back of this one, so we'll start at this corner. Now I'm starting at this corner because this is going to be the next bean that I go to, and I want to have as little thread between the two as possible. So you pull that all the way through, and you go over it, and you pull it all the way through. And then you want to try and keep your holes same distance so there's some consistency in there. As close to the edge as you can get without breaking the felt. And this is why people like to knot their needles. But that's what I get for not paying attention. We're just going to re-thread that, pull it back through. Now for this one, we're going to go back into that hole because we want a continuous line for this one. See? And we're just going to make that into a nice continuous line. And we're just going to keep going. You go through. And this is the stitch you'll use throughout the entire project. Beware of other objects your string might try to attach to. And we'll go back through. Also be careful you don't prick yourself with the needle. They're not, I'm not going to say they're not sharp because they're clearly sharp, but they're not so sharp they'll immediately dive through your skin. You should have a little bit of warning before it goes through. I'm gonna finish up this little toe bean. And as I said, this is the stitch that you're going to use throughout the entire project. So you'll use it on each and every toe bean, and you'll use it to attach the back of your paw. And we'll look through this. And I will show you. I'm going to finish this pad, and then I'll show you how to attach the next toe bean. And then after that, I'll show you how to finish the project up. You see you can get a nice little rhythm started, I say, as I pull through my bean. All right, let's right about up here. We'll go through, push through. But it's really easy once you get into a rhythm with it. And that in. All right, so you've attached the pads of your toe bean, and then we're going to take a bean, take this bean, that bean will work, and you're gonna wanna start at the back end, so make sure this is where you're at, and then you'll just kind of poke through and start working on attaching that bean. You wanna be careful you don't pull too tightly because it'll try to do that nonsense. But once you get back into the rhythm of stitching up the bean, you should be fine. I'm gonna use less stitches with this one because it's a smaller surface area. And poke it through that same hole and pull through. And you can rotate your paw around as you need, and this is what happens when we don't pay attention. So if you find yourself in a situation like this where you accidentally went through the wrong direction, that's fine. You can just pull it right through and just rethread your needle. It is that simple. Mildly annoying. That's what happens when we don't pay attention to our craft, but that's all right. So we're back in the back, find that hole, pull it through, and we are back on track. I'm gonna finish up this bean, and then I'll show you how to finish your project. Fun thing about this one is it also comes with fiber fill, so you can make it a very puffy paw if you like. Right, and that's the last bean. We are ending on this back side, which means that we can easily attach our next toe bean. Now once you have all your beans finished and you want to attach these, you'll attach it just like you did with these pads. The only difference is you'll also be attaching your key ring and your ribbon. So you'll fold that ribbon in half like that so that your ring is on the inside. And then you'll bring your two pad pieces together and move this kind of halfway down. I think that's a good location. And then you'll hold all of this together, and with your black thread, you'll start the same way. You'll knot your thread up, and then you'll start in the back side. And I find it's easy to start where the ribbon is, so we can kind of go through the ribbon real quick, and that way when you're doing the rest of the paw, the ribbon stays in place. But I'm going to put that to the side now, and I'm going to show you how to finish this project. So you can see with this one, this is a black paw, and I already went ahead and attached all of the beans. I went through my ribbon. You can see this is where I started off. There's my little knot, and you can see my ribbon is nice and attached. And we want to finish our project up. So you're going to take your fiber fill, and you should have plenty of fiber fill. A little bit goes a long way. You'll want to kind of open your paw up a little bit after you've sewn around this edge. Leave a little bit opening here for your fluff to go in, if you want to add your fluff. And then we'll go ahead and start stuffing the paw. You want to move that fiber fill in the hard to reach places first, and then just continue adding more. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. We'll smooth that out a little bit, see if we need more, and that should be enough. Might add a little bit more. Might add a little bit more here at the top. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm going to rethread this needle, and I'll show you how to finish up the project. Oh, let's thread wants to fray a little bit, that's okay. This is why we wet our needles down. All right, pull that through. And so, once again, starting at the back, I'm gonna move that fluff out of the way, and we're gonna stitch it closed. So pull that through, go back to the previous stitch, pull it through, go to where you want your next stitch to be placed, pull it through, previous stitch, pull through. This part gets a little bit more tricky simply because it's puffy and you have your fiber fill everywhere, but actually fairly easy once you get in the rhythm of it. Go through and previous stitch. And we will hook through. I don't want to get too close to the toe beans, but I also don't want to be too close to the edge. All right, so we've just got this little section left. I'm gonna smooth out the fiber fill a little bit. And we are going to hook our needle through. There's our previous stitch, there's our previous stitch. We pull through. And we go through. Find our previous stitch. Alright, and you can tell we're getting towards the end because we're getting to the end of our string. Now I'm going to go to the beginning of our very first stitch on this program and pull that through, and then find my previous stitch, which is right there. Pull that through, and you are officially closed up, but we just have to knot it now to make sure it stays that way. So the way you're gonna finish this off, you're gonna find that previous stitch. It's a little hard to see because it's black on black. And you're gonna tuck your needle under it. You're gonna pull through, but you're not gonna pull through all the way. You're gonna make this little knot. Then you're gonna take your needle and you're gonna go through it one way. You're gonna pull it. And then you're gonna make that little knot again. There we go, get through there. Once again, don't pull it all the way through. But this time, instead of going forward, we're gonna go around. So we're gonna go around the string. We're gonna pull up. Make a nice, neat double knot. Take our needle out, retrieve our scissors, and we're just going to snip. And get the fiber fill off. And there you go. You have yourself a paw print keychain. I hope you enjoyed our little demonstration. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or stop by the library. These will be available at all locations while supplies last, and we look forward to seeing you. Happy summer!